Comes on everyone. Let's start off. Hope everyone has gone through the notes. So last thing that we did was this thing. We started with the projectile motion, with the theory and stuff, and today we'll be handling problems. Great. Let's go ahead. Okay. Let's say a particle is projected with u and theta. This is your origin. Gravity is present. Others do keep your cams on. Find a time when the position vector r bar is perpendicular to v bar. R bar is your position vector, V bar is your velocity, meaning at some point, right? This would be your R bar. This would be your velocity bar. I want these to be 90 degrees. So when will that happen? Find the time. So answer will come in terms of U, theta, and G. Find D mod R by dt. We discussed about this in detail, I think, 2 classes back. At H max. Let's get these two things. dr by dt is not velocity. D mod r by dt. If you remember, d mod r by dt was radial velocity. Yeah, we discussed it here. D mod r by dt is the rate of change of length of the vector or the radial velocity. Let's get these two things. Yeah, this is a little more of a variable, so let's see. You know this thing, the moment you hear the word two vectors are perpendicular, the first thing that should come to the mind is what? Dot product is 0. That's the first thing should click. And then you know how to find R bar and you know how to find V bar. How to find R bar and V bar? There, this is your R bar, this is your V bar. Yeah, really not great numbers, but can be done. So let's say the first part. R bar is U cos theta Ti cap. That's what I'm saying. You should know your standard results. So that will be like your raw material. Then you can think faster on the other stuff. But if you're deriving even these things, or if you're thinking, oh, what is X coordinate and what is Y coordinate, you're slowing down. This is u cos theta I cap. This is u sin theta minus gt j cap. So since r bar is perpendicular to v bar, r bar dot v bar must be 0. So get the dot product. U square cos square theta t plus u square sin square theta t u sin theta gt minus half g u sin theta t square half g square t cube is equal to 0. U square cos square theta, u square sin square theta becomes u square. Take out t common. This would be 3 by 2 u sin theta t plus half g square t square. We got a quadratic. So one is t is equal to 0. That we don't count because t0 is a position vector is 0. Yeah. Half g square t square minus 3 by 2 u sin theta t. That's your quadratic. Mm, there's a g also here. Mm. Great. So if you try to find the roots for this, 3 by 2 u sin theta plus minus root over yeah. Mm, yeah, you get something like this. Did I miss something here? Mm, looks right, I guess. The equation is fine, right? Got the same equation. Then we are done. So 3 by 2 sin theta 9 by 2 u square sin square. There is a g square here. Hmm. Yeah. There's a g here. So one g will go up everywhere, plus or minus that u by g root over 9 by 4 sine square theta minus 2. There. This is the time we get. We don't take the positive root. Why? The time of it will be more than time of flight, isn't it? There will be more than time of flight. See, this is greater than 2u sine theta by g. I think I missed a 2, I guess. There was a 2 also here. Yeah. You get two roots. So we have to make sure the time is less than 2u sine theta by g. Any doubts on this? And then we can check like, what roots will come based on that we can solve. That's how you get the time. Yeah. And you can also see something interesting here. If you look at this thing, right? If this discriminant here, 9 by 4 sine square theta minus 2, if it is less than 0, that is if sine theta is less than root over 8 by 9, then r is never perpendicular to v bar. Clear with this? Now, this actually gives you something else. Let's talk about this a bit more. This actually leads to another question where, so this is saying R bar is never perpendicular to V bar. This actually comes from another question. I'll do one thing. We'll do that as a separate one, but let's stick to this thing now. Okay, this is the first part. What about the second part? Find D mod R by dt at H max. What do you guys think about this? Cos theta rule. I think Prisha got something. Now, if you actually try to find R bar and then differentiate, it will go a mess. I told you what is d mod R by dt. See the picture. So at your H max, what is the velocity? U cos theta. What is your R bar? This is your R bar. And this angle, let's call it some alpha. That angle is alpha. So if you resolve u cos theta into components, this will be u cos theta cos alpha. And this will be u cos theta sin alpha. So here u cos theta cos alpha is responsible for changing the length of the vector. I hope you remember that discussion. Like, so d mod r by dt, there's a rate of change of magnitude, is this velocity, u cos theta cos alpha. And what is tan alpha? This is h max. This is r by 2, half of the range. So tan alpha will be h max by r by 2, which is 2h by r. Take that and substitute here, and you can simplify. I will leave it to you. So in case you don't remember this, we have done this here. Page 48. This was the discussion. If numbers are given, you could have found this more easily. Numbers are not there, so it's all variables, but that's how you handle this. Are you clear what is d mod r by dt? Sin alpha. Yeah, that is sin alpha. Yeah. All clear with this? There, so you can play like this also. So they'll ask questions, based on vectors and this thing. So this thing, let me ask you the question based on that A part. So particle is projected with event theta. Find the condition if mod r bar is always increasing. They can say like, the distance from the point of projection is always increasing. So what is the meaning of this? Look at this. I'll give you some examples. Let's say you projected the particle like this. If you go up and if you come down, look at the distance here. So initially this was your R bar. This was your R bar. This is your R bar. So here R bar is increasing and decreasing. Mod R bar is the length of the vector, is increasing and decreasing. We don't want this to happen. The vector should always increase. The magnitude of the vector. Means if you throw with a certain angle, this is what you will notice. The length of this vector is always becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The vector ka length should always increase. It should never decrease. So what is the condition? So basically find theta so that this mod r bar is always increasing. So we don't want this. So you can also say like this, the the distance of the particle from the point of projection is always increasing. Yeah, that's what is being asked. Theta is 90 minus theta? What is that? You're saying find x, x is equal to 2 plus x. You're saying something like this. What are you even saying? But did you guys understood the question what I'm asking? You threw the particle in such a way, right? So u is constant, let's say. Speed is constant. You can only change theta. It actually doesn't matter about u also. But there are two ways to handle this. One, you can go brute force. If you project horizontal, we are throwing from ground to ground. Nah, don't change the question now. See, one way to do this is this. Take mod r bar, get the magnitude, and then you say d mod r by dt is greater than zero, isn't it? You will say the rate of change of that magnitude is always positive. That you can do, that goes long. Yeah, that is the right thing. So another way to do this thing is this. Let's ask ourselves a question like, when will this distance actually decrease? When you throw a particle, at what point will this thing come back? So if this is your R bar, and let's say if this was your V bar, and if you resolve this into components, so this component will be V cos alpha, and this component will be V sin alpha. So here V cos alpha is responsible for changing mod R bar that we already studied. Now, can I say like this? V cos alpha, as long as V cos alpha is along R bar will keep increasing. If V cos alpha is along R bar, then mod R bar increases. That is, alpha must be acute angle. Right? For example, if you have something like this, let's say this is your R bar, and if this was your velocity V bar, and if this was your angle alpha, now the component would be this way, V cos alpha. Now here V cos alpha is decreasing the magnitude. So basically so here alpha is obtuse. There, from vectors we can figure this out. Is this making sense? As long as you have a component of velocity along R bar, you will keep increasing in length. That means when you throw a particle, it should be such that the angle alpha is always positive. So for mod R bar to increase, alpha must be always alpha is always greater than zero. So V cos alpha, alpha must be always acute, which is me bar mod R bar by mod R bar is always greater than zero. Therefore, v bar dot r bar is greater than 0. So as long as r bar dot v bar is greater than equal to 0, it works. Is this page clear, everyone? The moment v bar and r bar will become, obtuse angle, the length of the vector will start decreasing. So we need to find v bar dot r bar is greater than equal to 0. Now that is where we did all this story again. So this will come. We actually proved that whole thing there. So this is not equal to 0. This is greater than 0, greater than 0, greater than 0. Now look at this thing. You're saying if this is greater than 0 or equal to 0, let's take the greater than 0 condition. Means there are no roots, no real roots. So the discriminant delta, which is b square minus 4ac, so as long as this equation has no real roots, that means if it never becomes 0, that means the distance will never become decreasing. So the discriminant delta which is b square minus 4ac must be less than 0. And how much is that? 9 by 4 u square g square sine square theta minus 4 into u square g square by 2. U square g square will cancel. You end up with sine square theta is equal to less than 8 by 9. Sine theta is less than root 8 by 9. If you see, it is the exact same result we got here. Meaning if the angle is sine theta is less than 8 by 9, then r bar and will be never perpendicular to v bar. That means it will never become obtuse angle, right? If you're not becoming perpendicular, meaning you'll always remain acute angle only. You will never become an obtuse angle. As long as the angle doesn't become obtuse angle, the distance will keep increasing. Are you getting how both are connected? Actually, it's the same question. This is a lengthy one. Not a tough one, but a lengthy one. But is this logic clear? The main thing is in this page. As long as the angle between them is an acute angle, the distance will keep increasing. So r bar dot v bar will be rv cos alpha. Since alpha is acute, cos alpha is positive. Therefore, r bar dot v bar is positive. And then we did all this stuff. So yeah, clear with this. And this angle, right, comes to around, you don't need to know this, but I think 70.5 degrees or something. So any angle less than that, your r bar will keep increasing. And any angle less than this, you will never become perpendicular. So if you want r bar to become perpendicular to v bar, you have to throw with an angle greater than this. Any doubt on this stuff? Yeah, this is a little lengthy one. Let's do something more basic. Okay. Let's see one more. Let's say you're standing at the edge of a lake. There is a lake here and there is a boat here. The width of the boat is 10 meters. The distance between the boat and you is also 10 meters. And then what you did, you got so bored, you started throwing stones. You started throwing stones with u and theta. Boat is at rest. It's speed u and theta. Case 1. Let's say you are throwing stones with a constant angle. Theta is 45. You fix the angle. Means you can throw with any speed you want, but angle should be always 45. So with what speed should you throw so that stones will go and fall on the boat? If you hit the edge of the boat, that is counted as falling in the boat. So case one, you are throwing at constant angle. You can't change the angle, but you can change your speed. Case two, your speed is fixed. You can throw only with 20 meter per second, but you can throw at any angle you want. Find theta if the stones fall in the boat. The boat is at rest. We can even make the boat also move. That will be more fun, but let's not do it right now. Then they can ask you total, find the number of stones that fall in the boat if the man is throwing one stone every second. You can do all that kind of things, but let's get this thing. I hope the question was clear. You can neglect the height of the man and height of the boat. The person is standing on the edge of the thing and you're throwing stones into a boat which is 10 meters far, and the size of the boat is also 10 meter. Case one, you can throw at angle 45. You can throw any speed you want. Find the speed if the stones fall in the boat. Case two, speed is fixed. You can throw any angle you want. Find the angle if the stones fall in the boat. Yep, right, Rohit. Right, Anish, get the second part also. Hope the question was clear. Anyone didn't understand the picture, please ask. Nee, Yukti. You will get multiple answers. Nee, Rohit. Anish, that's not the complete answer. That is right, Ahana. Right, Prisha. Get the second part. Second part is the main thing. Most of you got the speed part right. Right, Yukti? Got the speed part right. Get the angles. That's not the complete answer, Prisha. Yeah, think about it. Rohit, not the complete answer. Yukti, not the answer. Not the complete one. You just got 1 point. Let's see the first part. So the first part, we have the boat here, and you're throwing stones from somewhere here. So the idea is this. If you throw very slowly, what will happen? The stone will fall here. Very little more here, little more here, little more you'll hit the edge. That means when you throw with a minimum speed, this is u minimum, you will go and hit the edge of the boat. Similarly, if you throw with a particular speed, u max, then you will go and hit the other edge of the boat. So anything more than u max, you will go outside. Anything less than u minimum, you will be this way. This is 10 meters, and this is also 10 meters. So indirectly, you're telling me the range of this stone should lie between 20 meters and 10 meters, isn't it? You throw however you want, the range of this stone must lie between 10 and 20. But what is range ka formula? U square sine 2 theta by g less than equal to 20. What is g is 10 and theta is 45. So this would be 100 u square less than 200. The u ka value must lie between 10 root 2 and 10. There you will get directly. No need to do anything simplified. So here theta is 45. Hope this was clear. So if you throw anything between these two speeds, you'll always fall in the boat. So you should always, because if you fall in the middle also, you're falling in the boat. So if you throw with 10, you will hit the left edge. If you throw 10 root 2, you'll hit the right edge. What about the B part? If you look at the B part, here also the story will look the same. Let me erase the whole thing. But so you're saying the same story again. Range must be between 20 and 10. This will not change. This is 10. U square sine 2 theta by g less than 20. U is 20 square. That's 400 by 10 sine 2 theta. So this will come out to be half. Sine 2 theta will be, yeah, this will be half and this will be 1/4. So we get 2 theta will be sine inverse half and sine inverse 1/4. So theta will lie between, that is 30 degrees. So this is 15 degrees and half of sine inverse 1/4. Yeah, this is fine. But there's also one more thing here. If you remember, we get theta and 90 minus theta will give same range. Remember that? That means if you throw it 15 or if you throw it 75, you can still fall in the boat. So we actually get two set of answers. So the second range will be this. So theta will lie between 90 minus 15, that is 75. And 90 minus this, that would be 90 minus half sine inverse 1/4. Just to give an example, let's say this number, right, is 8 degrees, okay? Example, 8 degrees. Meaning your answer is between 15 and 8. So 90 minus 15 is 75, 90 minus 8 is 82. So your theta will also lie between 82 and 75. Making sense? So there are two ranges for angles also. There is a lower range and there's a higher range. So that's your final answer. So theta must lie between half sine inverse 1/4. If they have given you this angle, right, I think this will come out to be some 11.25, I guess, last time I calculated this. Something you'll get around roughly 11.25 degrees. You need not know this. I kept it in a calci and it gave it, so yeah. To 15 degrees, union, 75 degrees by 90 minus half sine inverse 1/. These kind of questions now will come in more than one choice, and there'll be four options. Options will be something like this is 11, right? Let's say one option is 13. Another option would be something like 37 or something. Another option will be something like 88, and another option will be 77. Something of this sort. So most people will put this 13 and they'll forget even 77 is right. So that way. Everyone is clear why you're getting two ranges? If I have to show you a picture, it looks like this. So when you throw with 15, you will go and fall here. When you throw at 75 also, you will go and fall here. So you get a thing like that. Yeah, most of you got this thing. You just didn't realize there is another range. Or kuch nahi hai. It's more of a physics thing. Mathematically, you all are right. Let's see one more. There, if you see, the question is more intuitive. And what did we use? We used only one formula. R is equal to U square sine 2 theta by G. That's it. I didn't use any other formulas in that projectile. We have an incline. The bottommost point is origin. Someone throwed a particle with some speed u and theta. This particle goes there and hits the incline while traveling horizontally at 3, 4. from the foot of the base with u comma theta, and it hits the incline while traveling horizontally. Find u and theta. So that bottom is the origin. You're hitting the incline at 3 comma 4. Find u and theta. How do we do this? Mm, I'll give you a hint. The keyword is this. Nothing. That is a keyword in the whole equation. Mhm. Ask yourself, when you throw a particle in a projectile motion, at which point will it travel horizontally? In the entire projectile motion, there is only one position where you travel horizontally. Go back to velocity profile. Look at this. There in the velocity profile. So in this entire motion, there is only one point when you travel horizontally at h max. So indirectly, they're telling you 3 comma 4 is your maximum height. Got it? Plus, and once you know that, then you can solve. Now get me an answer. It's just a matter of solving. You have to find u and theta. What will you do with u sin theta? So that is the thing. So if you don't realize traveling horizontally, that word, if you don't use, you can't solve. It feels like data is incomplete. Okay, and theta, right, Yukti, I think that is right. So the main idea here is to figure out that. So when you throw a particle, the only time it travels horizontally is at h max. So indirectly, he is telling you this is 3, that is your height. Sorry, this is 4, and this is 3 meters, which is half of the range, isn't it? H max may will get half of the range. R by 2 is 3, and H max is 4. Then you're done. Substitute there. So we get H is equal to U square sine square theta by 2g, which is 4. The range is U square sine 2 theta by g is 6. Divide them. You will get H by R. U square goes off. You got sine square theta by 2g sine 2 theta by g, and this is 4 by 6. G will cancel. This will be sine square theta. 2 sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta. 2 by 3. One sine will cancel. We'll get tan theta is equal to 8 by 3. And I told you multiple times, if you know tan theta, how to get sine theta? Just draw a small triangle. Tan theta opposite side by adjacent side, 8 by 3. So what is the hypotenuse? 64 by 9 root 73. So from here you can get sine theta, which is 8 by root 73. Right? So, and then you can put it in that H-max ka formula, u square sine square theta by 2g is equal to 4. Substitute here. U square 8 by 73 by 20 is equal to 4. How much is this? 4 to 10. We get u is equal to root 4 to, I missed something, I guess. 64th, mm, root 730 by 8. Clear, everyone? I don't know approximately how much is that. You can figure it out. Are you clear how we did this thing? So the main word is that it is traveling horizontally. If you don't use that, you can't solve. And once you know that, just use the formulas and finish it off. Any doubts on this? Got it? It's a decent mains level question. This board wala is also a decent mains level question. Let's see one more. Let's say you got a building here. There is a window here. So when you see a building with a window, what you do? You throw stones into it. Anyway, not supposed to do, but let's say you're doing it. So you started throwing stones into a window with a speed u. So these stones go and fall into the window. This distance is 10 meters and the height of the window is 5 meters. Simple, straightforward question. Find u. So with what speed should I throw? Angle is fixed if stone falls into the window. You can assume the window is a point size, okay? So there is no dimensions for the window. I can just put a small one there. So because if I give dimension, then it becomes complex. Let's not get into it. Let's get it a straightforward question. There's nothing much to think. Any answers? It is not really good to type. I know it's big. That looks right, Yukti. Now see, when you see a question like this, ask yourself, what do I know? I know theta, you're asking for u, and what else do I know? If you look at this carefully, right, they actually gave you the coordinates. This is 0, comma 0, and this is 5, 10, comma 5, which is your x, comma y. Now you think, okay, I know u, I know theta, I know I have to find u, I know theta, I know x, and I know y. In projectile motion, which equation has all these 4 variables? There's only one equation, equation of trajectory. That is the general thing. Whenever they talk about, it lands there, it falls there, it is here, they're indirectly giving you the coordinates. Most of the times they're asking you, boss, use equation of trajectory. Y is equal to x tan theta minus 2x square, 2u square cos square theta. There you should know your thing. Dump everything here. Y is 5, x is 10, tan 60 is root 3, 10, 10 square, 2u square, cos square 60 is on it. You know everything except u there. Simplify this. 5, 2 root 3, 2, 2. This is 400 by u square. So u will be 20 by root over 2 root 3 minus 1. That's your answer. Easy. One step, one equation. There's nothing much to do there. Yeah. Any doubts on this? Something similar. Let's say you're in a cricket stadium. And let's say if you've ever been to a stadium, right, you will see there will be steps like this in the, whatever is that called, in the stands. So let's say this distance is 40 meters. So here we have steps. Each step ka width is 1 meter. Height is also 1 meter. So we can say this is your first step, this is your second step, this is your third step, and so on. Each step is 1 meter wide and 1 meter tall. Now, someone is playing cricket and let's say they hit the ball with a speed of 40 meters per second at an angle of 60 degrees. This ball goes there and falls on one of the step. Just get me the equation. I think numbers will be pretty bad for this. Find the step on which the ball falls. Just get the equation and leave it. I didn't give proper numbers, so I just want to see how will you approach this. So this will go and fall on some step. And I think definitely the range is greater than 40 meters. So it will definitely go and hit some step. On which step you will go and fall. You can't use range ka formula. Why? Range ka formula is valid when you come back to the ground. You're not coming back to the same level. I'll give you a minute. Let's see. If you got the equation as same as me, then I think we are done. Okay, done with the equation. Let's get a quadratic though. So what is the idea here? We don't know which step it is going to fall. So we'll say let the ball fall on nth step. Like I said, whenever they say it is falling there, it is falling here, indirectly they're giving you the coordinates. Let ball fall on the nth step. So if you fall on the nth step somewhere here, that means horizontally you traveled n meters and vertically you traveled n meters. So indirectly the coordinate of this step is 40 plus n, comma n. So there they give you x and y coordinates in terms of n. And then we use the equation of trajectory. Y is equal to x tan theta. So it's the same like the window question. Just call the steps and the stadium and all is just a story there. Substitute the thing here. Y ka coordinate is n. X ka coordinate is 40 plus n. tan 60, maybe I could have given 45, but ठीक है, that would be root 3. G was 10 and X was 40 plus N whole square. Like I said, this thing will be complex. By 2, U square is 40 square and cos square 60 is 1 by 4. There, so that will be a quadratic, and if you solve this, you will get N ka value. You can leave it there. Let's say if you got an answer N is equal to 29.3, means what? You cross the 29th step and you're on the 30th step. So you should take the next biggest integer. So something of that sort. Everyone clear with the equations? There. So this and the previous problem, right, are exactly same. There it is a window, here it is a step, but the idea is the same. Take a break. Come back by 9:40. We'll continue from here. Any doubt so far? Sure. Come back by 9:40. Take a break. Okay, let's go ahead with the next one. Hello, cams on everyone. Let's say you projected a particle with speed u and theta. This thing goes up and falls down on the ground. So u is constant. So you're throwing stones with a constant speeds. Theta can be anything. Now, when you do this, there will be some area under this curve. Other scams on. Particle is projected with u and theta with speed u at any angle. You can throw with whatever angle you want. So for different angles, we get different areas. Meaning, for example, see, if you throw like this, you will go straight up and come down. This will be the area. If you throw it like this, you will go and fall down here. This will be the area, right? If you throw like this, you will fall more here. You will. This will be the area. So depending on at what angle you throw, the area will keep changing. Find theta if the area under the curve is maximum. So there is one particular angle when the area becomes maximum. I hope the question was clear. Depending on how you throw, you get different areas. For example, if you throw like this, you will fall like this. If you throw like this, you will fall like this. If you throw at little higher angle, then you will fall like this. So these are all different possible areas. So there is one particular angle which will give you the maximum area. What is that angle? There, let's get this thing. Everyone got the question? Think, take a minute or two. Again, I'm saying when I say question, right, don't put pen on the paper and start solving. Take a minute figuring out, okay, what is happening? How do I start? What is this? Make a plan. Even before putting your pen on the paper, there should be a plan on the head. Oh, this is how I think I'll approach, and then start. If you start scribbling immediately, nothing will come in the head. It's like before you make a move, have a roughly at least an idea like, okay, maybe I'll start like this. Maybe something will happen. So it's okay if you don't know till the end. Anyone didn't understand the question, like any confusion with the question, please ask. Question is clear. You got 2 minutes to think. Then maybe I'll tell you a few things and then I'll give you another 1 or 2 minutes. So what are you asking? Find theta if the area under the curve is maximum. So if I'm reading this question, right, first thing I'll see like, oh, he's asking about maximum area and he's asking about theta. This looks like maximum minimum question. That is the first thing I'll think of. Means somehow if I can find area under the curve in terms of theta, then I will do d area by d theta and do maximum minimum. I should get the answer. That is the first thing. In the entire question, the word that hit me was find max. See, these are some keywords. Find maximum area, find minimum area, find maximum, minimum. The vectors are perpendicular. When you hear these kind of words, right, they should always trigger something. Oh, this means that. So great. So we need to find area under the function of theta. Second thing, if I know the equation of a curve, can't you find the area? If you go back to integration, isn't that the whole concept of integration? If you go back to the derivations of integration, isn't this the meaning of this? If I give you a curve, the equation integral y dx will give you area under the curve. So in this question, don't you know this equation? You know the equation. What is that? Equation of trajectory. You know the equation. You know the limits 0 to r. You know the area. If you get area in terms of theta, you know how to do maximum minima. There, you know how to do this. Try. I'll give a minute or two. Now it's working. This is more of a calculus-based question. It's more of a max oriented than physics. Physics gets over once you write equation of trajectory. So this would be, if you ask me, I won't say it is tough. It's somewhere between easy and moderate, but it is a lengthy question. Always be clear with that. Don't get confused with the tough question with a lengthy question. Both are different. People see a lengthy question and they say it is difficult. It simply means you are slow. And that is fine, right? You just have to become fast and the problem is solved. Yeah, first we integrate. That is the interesting thing, Yukti. You integrate with what and you differentiate with what? Both are not the same. When you're integrating area, it is integral y dx. Matlab, theta is constant then. When you differentiate, it is dA by d theta. You're integrating and differentiating, but they both are not the same. Try. Everyone should try. Meaning, so what is the area under the curve? In case you forgot, this is how we do, right? Take a thin rectangle, dx, and this is y. The equation of the trajectory, y is equal to, I will choose this equation, y is equal to x tan theta into 1 minus x by r. Hope you guys remember this, the second form of the trajectory. The area of this thin rectangle is y dx. So area under the curve is integral y dx. Limits will go from 0 to r. X ka value is going from 0 to r. So the reason I took this is because everything will come in terms of r. You could have done the other one also. This would be x tan theta dx minus x square tan theta by r dx. That would be x dx would be r square by 2 tan theta. This would be r cube by 3, so r square by 3 tan theta. So we get r square by 6 tan theta. There, that's your area as function of in terms of r. But what is r? R is u square sine 2 theta by g ka square. This is u power 4 by 6g square sine square 2 theta tan theta. So that function is variable. We need to do maximum minima. For maxima, dA by d theta is equal to 0. There, you guys do it. I'll give you a minute. So this is the first integration. So you're integrating with x and then you differentiate with theta. So for a given theta and u, you found the area. So for different thetas, you get different areas. Among that, a particular angle will give maximum area. And it is not 45. Generally, there is a big feeling, right? Range is maximum, to area maximum ho jayega. Not necessarily. There, differentiate. It's more of a max problem now. This much you can handle. This would be a good integer question. I mean, option would be something like the angle theta is x into 10 degrees. Find x. Any answers? Someone नहीं रहा ना बहुत अच्छा नंबर आएगा रे. What did I say? Answer will be x into 10. Find x integer question. Differentiate, differentiate. Don't sit and wait for me to answer. If you're not solving when I'm giving you time, you know what you're doing? You're telling your brain, boss, it is okay not to try. Let's just sit and wait for the other person to answer. And then exam mein, what do you think will happen? It's okay if you don't get it, but why are you not even trying? Failing is okay. Not trying is a problem. Because see, this game, right, of JE Advance, you win this game by staying in the game and fighting every day. You don't win this game by IQ and all. IQ and all will fine. That is all okay. But the biggest thing is that you have to be in the game fighting every day. You win this game by persistence and consistency. Most people think IIT crack करने के लिए super genius होना चाहिए. Yeah, it would matter. If you're smart, then it is just a multiplying factor. But I have seen very smart, super genius people who gave up in the middle, who got frustrated and then didn't do anything. So don't become like that. Right, Karthik? Every year it happens. Even this year, if you see in one of our result, right, there is a kid, Om Kakde करके, right? So उसका mains में इतना अच्छा winning percentage was a little less. Frankly speaking, I thought he will end up somewhere at 10,000 or 8,000. He got 4,000. It was a good surprise. I was happy I was wrong. So people do work. So, but that guy didn't give up till the last moment. If you see in terms of ability in the class, there are people who are much more smarter than him. But he focused only on one thing: my subject. I will improve my work, even if the marks are a little less. I'll keep fighting. So, what to do with this thing? So, let's differentiate this. It's brute force. You should be happy when you get lengthy questions because most people are lazy. They will solve up the question, they get frustrated, or their handwriting is so bad while solving, right? They scribble so much they don't understand themselves what they're writing after 3 steps. Good, na? Let the competition mess themselves up, right? And that's why we tell the kids when you are doing a rough work, right? Draw a line, and even if you're scribbling, na, scribble it little neatly. Because if you don't get a question, you can come back and check it from there. I have seen people, they'll scribble so badly. After that, they don't understand what they're doing. They have to do it again from start. You're wasting time. So, yeah. And some people don't read the question. So, all these are small, small mistakes. You need to see your mistake and improve on them. So, let's differentiate this guy. U power 4 by 6g square. Product rule. Sine square 2 theta. Differentiate tan theta. Tan theta, differentiate sine square 2 theta. We have only one answer so far. Rest of you didn't get it. Mere Yukti, how did you even get u in the answer? This is equal to 0. So 0 this term is useless, isn't it? So this is sine square 2 theta, tan ka differential, sec square theta. You know all this stuff. That's what I told you. I taught you everything. Matlab, all these things, basics, right? We have prepared. It's like before cooking, what do? You get all the ingredients ready. Right, Yukti? How did you get from there to here directly, right? So this is what to sine 2 theta. Then sine 2 theta का differentiate करो cos 2 theta. Then 2 theta का differentiate करो, you will get 2. I'm skipping a step here, you can figure it out. This should be equal to 0. Take out sine 2 theta common. This would be sine 2 theta sec square theta is cos square theta plus 4 tan theta cos 2 theta. So sine 2 theta is 0, theta is 0. We will not take that condition. That's when it is vertical. Actually, that will give you the minima condition. Then the other one is sine 2 theta is cos square theta plus 4. That is sine theta cos 2 theta by cos theta is equal to 0. Arrange this a bit. Bring that cos 2 theta this side. Hmm. Yeah, expand this also. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta. Just put it on the other side. One sine goes off, one cos goes off, this guy goes off. You are left with cos 2 theta is equal to minus half. Means 2 theta is 120 degrees. Theta is 60 degrees. Clear? Yeah. Expand that sine square to that and finish it off. So it works. There's nothing to think here if you see. What is there to think? Brute force, differentiate, differentiate, differentiate. You just have to keep following the steps. Got it? Next one. But like I said, this is more of a max question. Let's see. This is another standard mains level question. Y is equal to x square by 2. This is the equation of trajectory. This is a very standard question. Like comes a lot. You will see this thing in some other exam, maybe BIT CET, uh, MHCET, like mains or Vellore or Manipal or something like that. This is the equation of the trajectory. Find H max and range. Yeah. 1 and 2, 1, 2.5. Okay, we got different answers. So first thing, let's compare this. Y is equal to x tan theta into 1 minus x by r. Remember, this is the formula there. If you compare this x into 1 minus x by 2, you can clearly see range is 2 meters. There's nothing to do there. You can see and tell that r is 2 meters. Right? That one is that. Then second thing, we also know while you're doing a projectile motion here, the maximum height will occur at half of the range. So when this is r by 2, you get h max. So there are few ways to get h max. So when x is r by 2, that is 1 meter, your y ka value becomes h max. So substitute x is equal to 1 in the equation. So 1 into 1 minus half meter. So check. So answer is 2.5. Theta is 45. You didn't need that anyways. Got it? You could have found speed also. Or you could have said like this also. At h max, dy by dx is equal to 0. So that will give you x is equal to 1. You can play around however you want. Easy one. Got this? So let's see one more. Let's get this one. This will teach you how to read a equation. Read and figure it out. Before even solving the question, put a picture. Draw a picture. Roughly put a picture. If you can't draw a picture, you didn't understand the question. Physics mein putting a picture is the key. Most people think like without a picture they can do and they goof up a lot. Trust me, even being a teacher, teaching from last 17, 18 years, I still draw a picture. Maybe I can do it in my head, but why do you want to take risk? That to an exam like advanced when you're under time pressure. If you can't draw a picture, most of them means you didn't understand the question. Solve na Yukti. You know the answer. But you know how to solve. Then solve and get it step by step. What if I change the numbers? What will you do? Process is important. If you have seen this before, that is good. Now replicate it. Because tomorrow in the exam, you know what they will say? They will say the height of the telegraph post is h by 2. Done. The whole question has changed. So whatever I'm teaching, right? It is not like everything is not unique. I even have to teach you the some standard models also. The whole paper is not going to be unique. 50% paper will be standard models. So, but you know how to do even that standard model. Let's try. Did everyone got the picture? Did you understand what is happening? So your ability to read and understand the question is important. Most people don't do that. Long back when we did some small study, right, we realized a student spends almost 45 minutes reading the paper. Out of 3 hours exam, a kid spends almost 40 to 50, 45 minutes roughly, right, on reading the paper. So reading a paper is an ability, how fast can you read and how fast you can get the information without messing up. Most people, they don't read the question properly. They miss the words. They don't understand stuff. They're in a hurry to solve a question. Now, this year, one of your seniors, she scored 119 positive marks. But because of negative marking, her score became 90. Advanced mein cutoff is 92. She didn't get a rank. How many negative marks was that? 19 negative marks. And when you ask her what happened, she's like, sir, I didn't read the question properly. So most time when you say I did a mistake, at least half of the time it is like you didn't read the question properly. Nere Rohit, you won't get a good number. It's not a bad number also, but you won't get an integer. Let's see the question. Let's see whether you understood what the question is saying. So a stone is projected from the point on a ground in a direction as to hit a bird on top of a telegraph post. Then hit in a maximum height 2h above the ground. If the instant of the projection, the bird were to fly, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So you are throwing the stone here. With u and theta. At some distance, there is a telegraph post. We don't know where it is. And he's saying this height is h. And here there is some stupid bird sitting there. When you throw the stone, at the same time, the bird also started flying horizontally with some speed. We don't know how much is that. The bird is flying, the stone is coming, right? And this stone, you threw it in such a way, the stone actually passes through the telegraph post. But remember, when the stone comes here, the bird has already gone ahead. So this stone is coming like this. And remember, the bird is flying horizontally. If the stone still hits the bird while descending, matlab when the stone is coming back, it hits the bird. Now you need to ask yourself, the only place, see, the stone could have hit here, or the second place it can hit is here, isn't it? That means this is the other height, this is also h. So when the bird has reached here, the stone is coming down and it hits the bird here. This is not up to scale, but you got the point. And is also saying the total maximum height of this guy is 2h. So for the bird, this is t is equal to 0. For the stone, t is equal to 0. And both are not going with the same speed. So this v is the velocity of the bird. The stone ka horizontal component is u cos theta. And this position is where the stone hits the bird. So the stone, initially the bird was here. You threw the stone. At the same time, the bird started flying horizontally. As it is flying, the stone is coming. As it is flying, the stone is coming, and the bird gets hit here. The bird is flying horizontally, so the height should remain same. So basically, symmetrically, it is getting hit on the other side. You have all this information, and this projectile motion ka maximum height is 2h. So what they're asking in the question is indirectly find the ratio of the velocity of the bird by and the stone. So stone ka horizontal velocity is u cos theta. This is the ratio they're asking. I don't know v, I don't know u, I don't know theta, but I can get the ratio with the given information. 2 into root 2 minus 1. Yeah, Hannah, that looks right. What do you guys think? See, drawing a diagram, understanding the question will easily eat away 1 minute, 1.5 minutes on the question. But in the exam, I think you can do it faster. It might take 45 to 50 seconds when you're in 12th. Maybe now you'll take more time, but as time passes, you will become strong. You will become fast. On the day of the exam, you should become better than the teachers. That's the whole point. Right, Anish, that looks right. You have two answers, anyone else? This is a good one. You have to think, you have to solve. It's a little lengthy also. So once we got this picture here, so let's see the data points here. Let this distance be x1. Let this distance be x2. So the first telegraph post is at x2, the second guy is somewhere at x2. So what is the distance traveled by the bird? So the bird is traveling from x2 minus x1. Right? And what is x2 minus x1? X2 minus x1 is nothing but velocity of the bird into time t. How much time we don't know. Great. How much did the stone travel? So when the bird is getting hit, horizontal distance traveled by stone. How much was that? It was x2. And how much was this? U cos theta into t. Agreed? Indirectly, what are you asking? If I find the ratio x2 minus x1 by x2, that would give me velocity of the bird by u cos theta. There. That's your thing there. That means I don't want anything else. I just want this ratio, and my answer is done. Right? And then let's get few more data points from here. H max is your 2h, which is u square sine square theta by 2g. This is given in the question. So h is equal to u square sine square theta by 4g. So keep this aside, we will use this. Next thing, the equation of trajectory, y is equal to x tan theta, 1 minus x by r. Now if you substitute here, what is the y value here? When the bird is getting hit, this coordinate is x2 comma h. If you substitute the coordinates, this will be h. So let's just take any random coordinate here. H, and this would be your x tan theta, x square tan theta by r. So we got a quadratic equation. So for this quadratic, we get two roots. Because what is x here? X is the x coordinate when the height is h. There are two roots for this, x1 and x2. So roots of this quadratic are x1 and x2. So this is where you get x1 and x2 from. So this x here is the x coordinate when the height is h. Is this making sense? You solved using ratio of times. Time is same, right? When you threw the stone, the bird started flying at the same time. So the time is actually 1:1. They take the same time. It takes the stone will reach here in time t, the bird will also reach in time t. So you can't, I don't know how you did with time then. So far clear? And then yeah, we have to solve it. Is lengthy. So maybe if you guys have any other shorter way, let me know. X square by r tan theta. That's your quadratic. Minus h is equal to 0. Plus h is equal to 0. So this will give you two roots. X is equal to tan theta plus or minus root over b square tan square theta minus 4 h by r tan theta by 2a, that is 2 tan theta by r. Yeah, it looks deadly and bad, but you will get it. So in this, one postulate is x1 and one is x2. You can simplify this further. What is h? H is u square sine square theta by 4g. What is range? Range is u square sine 2 theta by g. You got a non-trigonometric quadratic. Interesting. Can you send me the photograph? Maybe there could be an easier way. So you get that stuff. So 2 tan theta by r. So u square will cancel, gg will cancel. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta, cos theta, one sine will cancel. You'll get a tan theta there by 8. So that is 4 also will cancel. You will end up with tan theta plus or minus. Even though it looks bad, you actually get a good one there, tan theta by root 2. There. So you got x1 and x2 there. So v bird by u cos theta was x2 minus x1 by x1, x2. So this is simply x2 by 1 minus x1 by x2. So take this x1 and x2 and substitute here. So this is 1 minus tan theta plus or minus. This tan will cancel everywhere. So this will be root 2 plus or minus 1 by 2 root 2 tan theta by r. The denominator will cancel anyway, luckily. Root 2 plus or minus 1. So you take root 2 minus 1 and root 2 plus 1. You can simplify this further. That will be 2 by root 2 plus 1. Yeah, I got this in a lengthy way. If someone got something much faster, let me know. But the main idea is this. The ratio of these velocities are simply the difference in the x coordinates by x2. And the equation of trajectory will give you x1, x2 from the quadratic equation. And from there, you're done. Okay, and you got, yeah, this is also good. This is also smart, actually. You did this way. You did it in a different way. Anish did in a much better way. This went too long, actually. Even I didn't like this, but I thought like, okay. Meaning in the exams, I think this is the first thing that clicks me. See what Anish did. He's saying that H max is u square sine square theta by 2g, right? And this was 2h, which was given. So we know u sine theta here is equal to 2g 4gh. So now when you're reaching the telegraph post, we can use the equation y is equal to u sine theta t minus half gt square. Substitute here. So y will be h. This will be u sine theta. That's your velocity, which is root 4gh into time minus half gt square. You got a quadratic equation in time. When you solve this, you'll get T1 and T2. What are T1 and T2? You're basically reaching the same height, isn't it? So this is time T1 and this is time T2. Same story. So this is your x1, which is nothing but u cos theta into T1. This is your x2 coordinate, which is u cos theta into T2. So you got them in terms of T1 and T2. And just now we derived v bird by u cos theta is nothing but what? X2 minus x1 by x2. So 1 minus x1 by x2, which is T1 by T2. So take that and substitute. I think this is much faster. This looks better because I think we eliminated the theta, geta, all things went away. Yeah, this is better. Clear with this? The story was clear, right? The main idea is end of the day, still you have to get this ratio. I got it with trajectory. That tan theta made things difficult, but yeah, if you can click, it takes you with the time, that is also good. This was a much better method. So, but again, I'm telling you, try this on your own. I showed you, so it feels like you got it. You didn't get it. You just listened to it. Let's see one more. Let's say you projected with un theta. This is your x is equal to 0. So you are on a weird planet. On this weird planet, the gravity, right, is ay is equal to minus g naught x. So this planetary gravity is increasing with x coordinate, meaning see, At x is equal to 0, there is no gravity. If you go little forward, there is a gravity. If you go little more, there's more gravity, more gravity, more gravity, more. The gravity is increasing as you go more and more, the gravity is increasing. Find h max, range and time of flight. This becomes an advanced question. You can't use your regular equations. Similar one, nah, this is nothing like that. The last time we did, the gravity was changing with y coordinate. This is changing with x. And this is a completely different monster. The last one is like a crocodile. This is like a Godzilla. Not a big one, Chota Godzilla, but yeah, it's still. Let's get this. Let's finish off. This is the last one for the day because it's a big one. You have a planet whose gravity is increasing with x coordinate. Minus n simply means it is down. So here x is your x coordinate and g naught is constant. The more you travel horizontally, the more gravity you have. So the gravity would be like increasing, 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 increasing. Let's see. The one thing is clear, you can't use your regular equations. So you have to go back to integration. So how do we start? Yeah, if theta is 90, h max will be infinity. Because at that point, there's no gravity. So if you throw straight, it goes off. So it's a very weird planet. Elon Musk would love to have this planet. He can launch satellites from there with zero fuel. But interestingly, if you have a weird planet like this, you can do a lot of nonsense things. You can generate free energy, isn't it? You can take a big water tank, you can pump water here, you can run the hydroelectric thing here, and when the water comes here, you can bring it back and it will automatically go up. This water will just keep going forever. You get free electricity. These kind of systems don't exist. This is all imaginary things. Here, if you come back to the same point after walking all around, yeah, you can come back, but what will happen? You will gain extra free energy, actually. Okay, let me tell you something, okay? I'll do something. Let's see what you think about it. So this guy is projected with u and theta. The gravity was g naught x. So your acceleration was minus g naught x. So I will write this thing as v dv by dx is equal to minus g naught x. And then I will do v dv is equal to minus g naught x dx. This is a blunder. Why? Prisha got something, a time. That's the time of flight, yeah? Root 6. Right, Prisha. This is a blunder. Why? What's wrong with this? Get the remaining also H max and range. Yeah, right. So see, what is this acceleration? This is AY. So your acceleration in y direction is depending on x coordinate. So when you write this, this is Vy dVy by dy coordinate. Are you getting this? You cannot integrate this. If you're taking acceleration in y direction, then it should be dy in the denominator, right? Differentiation way. We cannot integrate this. Then how do we go about it? There is something interesting here. If you notice something, the acceleration is still down. Since ax is 0, the horizontal velocity is still constant. The horizontal component of velocity is still u cos theta. That means your x coordinate is still u cos theta into time. This will not change. This is the principle of superposition. Whatever happens in the vertical direction will not affect in the horizontal direction. These two are two independent things. So there, you can get the x coordinate. If you got the x coordinate, then you can write ay is equal to minus g naught x can be written as minus g naught u cos theta t. There, now I converted this into time because I don't know how to integrate if x is sitting there. But if you can write this in time, suddenly my life becomes pretty easy. So there you got ay is equal to, so the first thing is figuring out that x is u cos theta t. G naught u cos theta t. So this is nothing but dvy by dt, double integration. Dvy minus g naught u cos theta, integral t dt. Initial speed is u sin theta upward. This is Vy and time will be from 0 to t. This will give you Vy is equal to u sin theta minus g naught u cos theta t square by 2. This is your velocity as function of time t. This can be written as again dy by dt u sin theta minus g naught. At this point, once you got this in terms of time, then it is just brute force integration. Integrate this again. So y coordinate will be u sin theta time minus g naught u cos theta t square t can integral t cube by 6. This is your y coordinate as function of time. Now what? I'll give you a minute more. Now what? How do you find h max time of flight and range from here? So the main thing is that you need to get your x in terms of time, and once you got that, then things will start moving. You should definitely try this on your own again. So today's class, there are a few problems which you should definitely try. Look at the question, take a rough paper and just do it roughly. If you don't do that, these questions will never stick to you. The same question comes after a month, you will feel like, oh, I have seen this somewhere, but I don't remember what I did. It looks like your long lost friend. Happens, huh? You meet your school friend, you see them, and you know them, but you don't know their name anymore. You forgot. I think it might not have happened to you, but it happens with me a lot. It's very difficult for me to remember so many names. So, and my friends know that. They tell me you forgot my name, right? I said, huh. So what I did, I took all my friends. I kept all the photographs together. I have a PDF file in my Google Drive. Someone comes, first thing, I go to the washroom. I open the file. I look at this person and say, oh, this is this guy. So it works. So what to do for here? Look at this. You want to find H max? When you reach H max, what happens? Vy becomes 0. These stories are always still the same. If Vy is 0, this is u sine theta minus g naught u cos theta t square by 2. So this will give you time of ascent, which is 2u by g naught tan theta curve root. U आएगा, U नहीं आएगा. 2 tan theta by g naught. This is your time of ascent. Now, if you take this and put in the y coordinate, you get the h max. At t is equal to time of ascent, y will become h max. So take this and dump it there. So h max will be u sine theta root 2 tan theta by g naught minus g naught u cos theta root tan theta g naught by 3 by 2. You can simplify this. So this would be 1 tan theta will come out, g naught will cancel. This will be 2u sine theta by 3 root 2 tan theta by g naught. There, if I put theta 90, I'm getting infinity. There we got h max from here. What about time of flight? When do you get time of flight? When you reach the ground, isn't it? If you go and fall on the ground, the time of flight will get when y is 0. So for time of flight, y is 0. Substitute there. So that will be u sine theta, time of flight. This guy, we have to make it 0. Minus g naught u cos theta, time of flight cube by 6. If you see time of flight will be root over 6 tan theta by g naught. And if you observe something here, time of descent is not equal to time of ascent. I told you this. While going and coming down, if your gravity is different, it will be different. This is root 6 minus root 2. I didn't ask you this. I'm just showing you. Tan theta by g naught. This is your time of descent. That it's also a pretty good question. They can really ask a lot of things here. What do you want to find? Range? Range is the easiest one. Sx is equal to uxt plus half axt square. Because your ax is 0, the range will be simply u cos theta into time of flight. You can see how many questions they can ask you. Time of ascent, time of descent, all that stuff. So all clear with this? So the whole question starts with getting x in terms of time. Once you got that, things will fall in place. Most common mistake, people write this and things go for a toss there. So be careful, directions will matter if you're throwing up. And so here the thing is, your vertical acceleration is depending on x coordinate. That is the weird thing. Clear with this? There, so that is how it is. So please make sure to go through the notes. We have done almost 42 questions. Next class, we will do even little more varieties. We will also do something called projectile on incline and all that stuff. So mostly projectiles, we should be able to finish off most of it in the next class. You can start doing projectiles. We'll start throwing things also from the building. That also will be fun. So, but yeah. And if you're doing HCV or material, please start doing it. Don't wait for the chapter to get over because there'll be a lot more. If you wait till the chapter gets over, it'll be too late. You can start doing that. So, okay, with that, we'll wrap up for the day. And do remember, there's a test online on Friday. I know we're still doing with calculus and stuff. So, but once we start kinematics, it'll be better. Questions will get more tougher. Calculus में इतना कुछ है ही नहीं, but yeah. Okay, so with this, we'll wrap up for the day. So, any doubts, anything else, please stay back and ask. Or else you free to leave. I'll see you again next Monday, same time. So, take care, stay safe.